Roommate burned my food, so I matched his energy. So this happened when I was going back to school trying to switch careers. Money was super tight, and I ended up in this weird basement apartment setup where like 6 of us each had our own bedroom with a lock, but we all shared one kitchen and 2 bathrooms. Nobody really talked to each other except to be like, hey, you owe $12 for internet this month. One night I got back from my shift at this grocery store around 10 and I was starving. I'd been at classes since 8 in the morning, then straight to work until closing. I grabbed this frozen pizza from my mini fridge in my room. This wasn't just any frozen pizza either. I'd been eating dollar store ramen and peanut butter sandwiches for like 2 weeks to save up for actual groceries, so this pizza felt like a whole event. I preheated the oven to 375 degrees like the box said, slid the pizza in on the middle rack, and set a timer on my phone for 25 minutes. Then I went back to my room to change out of my work clothes that smelled like rotisserie chicken and mop water. About 15 minutes in, I heard the oven door. That thing was ancient and made this loud creaking sound whenever you opened it. Then I heard footsteps and someone's door closing down the hall. I thought maybe they were just checking on something, so I didn't think much of it. When my timer finally went off, I walked back out to the kitchen. I opened the oven and immediately saw this huge metal tray of raw chicken breasts sitting on the rack above my pizza, and my pizza looked wrong. The edges were black and the cheese had those dark brown burned spots all over it. I checked the oven dial. Some genius had cranked it up to 425. I just stood there for a second staring at my ruined pizza. I pulled it out and the bottom was completely charred. I tried to scrape off the burnt parts with a fork, but it was hopeless. The whole thing tasted like ash and sadness. But I was so hungry I ate it anyway, standing there in the kitchen at like 10:30 at night, chewing burnt crust and trying not to cry about how broke and tired I was. Then I looked at the oven again. The chicken was still in there. This dude had cranked the heat, shoved his food in, and just went back to his room without saying a single word to me. Didn't knock on my door, didn't leave a note, nothing. I looked at that tray of chicken and something in my brain just snapped. I walked over, turned the oven dial all the way up to 500 degrees, closed the door, and went back to my room. I sat on my bed eating the rest of my terrible pizza and waiting. About 10 minutes later, I heard the smoke alarm start blaring. Then I heard a door fly open and someone yelling shit 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 in the hallway. I waited another few seconds, then stepped out of my room into the dark hallway. The kitchen light was on, and I could see this guy frantically waving a dish towel at the smoke alarm. The whole place smelled like burning meat. I just stood there in my doorway and said, "Everything all good, bud?" He jumped a little and turned around. His face was all red and sweaty. He looked at me and stammered something like, "Yeah man, just burned my dinner a little." I could see him scraping blackened chicken off the tray into the trash. The pieces were literally smoking. Some of them were stuck to the pan so bad he had to chisel them off with a spatula. "That sucks, man," I said, and went back into my room. I heard him cussing under his breath for like another 5 minutes while he cleaned up. The smoke alarm went off 2 more times. I moved out like 3 weeks later when my lease was up. Found a cheaper place with just one other roommate who actually communicated like a normal person. Fuck your chicken.